Imagine walking into an exclusive gathering where the wealthiest and most sophisticated individuals communicate through subtle signals that most people completely miss. These unspoken codes separate the truly refined from those who simply think they belong in high society. What you're about to discover will transform how you navigate elite social circles, and by the end of this revelation, you'll possess the insider knowledge that distinguishes genuine aristocracy from mere pretenders. Picture yourself at an intimate soiree in a Manhattan penthouse, where old money families have perfected these rituals over generations. Every gesture carries meaning, every pause speaks volumes, and understanding these signals determines whether you're welcomed into their inner circle or politely dismissed. The art of recognizing when hospitality transforms into a gentle dismissal begins with understanding the psychology of elite entertainment. When your host graciously offers you a second beverage after an extended conversation, this gesture represents far more than simple courtesy. Distinguished hosts have mastered the delicate balance between warmth and boundaries, using this refined technique to signal the natural conclusion of your visit. The truly sophisticated guest recognizes this elegant cue and responds with equal grace, expressing appreciation while gracefully preparing their departure. Those who miss this signal often find themselves unwittingly overstaying their welcome, creating an awkward atmosphere that sophisticated hosts will never directly address. The proper response involves acknowledging the gesture with gratitude while indicating your awareness of the time, allowing both parties to maintain their dignity and social standing. This practice originated in European courts, where diplomatic protocol required indirect communication to preserve face among nobility. Understanding dining etiquette signals reveals the intricate language of fine dining establishments favored by society's elite. When temporarily excusing yourself from the table at an exclusive restaurant, the placement of your napkin communicates your intentions to the highly trained service staff. Positioning your napkin on your chair indicates your return and ensures your carefully prepared meal remains untouched during your absence. Conversely, placing the napkin beside your plate signals the completion of your dining experience and authorizes staff to clear your setting. This subtle communication system prevents the embarrassment of returning to find your exquisite meal has been prematurely removed by well-intentioned but misinformed service personnel. The most prestigious establishments train their staff to recognize these signals, creating a seamless dining experience that reflects the sophistication of their clientele. Professional service teams understand that discretion and anticipation distinguish exceptional service from ordinary hospitality. First, let's examine how the wealthy navigate the complex dynamics of paying for shared dining experiences. The performance of offering to split expenses often masks deeper social expectations within affluent circles. When someone suggests dividing the bill with a casual, almost dismissive tone, they're typically providing you with an opportunity to demonstrate generosity rather than expressing genuine desire to share costs. This ritualistic dance allows both parties to maintain face while establishing subtle hierarchies within their social group. The sophisticated individual reads the undertones of such offers, understanding when genuine sharing is intended versus when gracious assumption of the full expense is expected. Mastering this nuance prevents social miscalculations that could damage relationships within exclusive circles. Subscribe now to unlock the remaining secrets that separate society's elite from everyone else. The psychology behind these financial gestures reflects deeper cultural values about status, reciprocity, and social positioning within affluent communities. The telecommunications etiquette of the upper echelons follows unwritten rules that preserve dignity while managing social obligations. When an established member of society uses the phrase about letting you conclude your conversation, they're employing a masterful technique to end discussions gracefully. This elegant exit strategy allows both parties to disengage without admitting that one person desperately needed to terminate the exchange. The refined individual immediately recognizes this diplomatic opening and accepts it with appreciation, understanding that resistance would demonstrate poor breeding and social awareness. Those who fail to recognize this signal often trap their conversation partners in uncomfortable situations, revealing their lack of familiarity with proper social protocols. The most accomplished socialites use this technique themselves, creating harmonious conclusions to conversations while maintaining positive relationships. This communication strategy proves particularly valuable during lengthy charity galas, board meetings, and social functions where time management becomes essential. Moving forward, we discover how silent communication governs beverage service at sophisticated gatherings. When attending elegant cocktail parties or wine tastings hosted by prominent families, declining additional servings requires finesse rather than verbal refusal. The simple gesture of placing your hand gently over your glass communicates your preference to attentive service staff without creating disruption or drawing unwanted attention. This refined technique demonstrates your familiarity with proper etiquette while maintaining the sophisticated atmosphere that hosts work diligently to create. Verbal declinations often seem abrupt or ungracious in settings where subtlety and elegance are paramount values. The most exclusive events rely on these understated forms of communication to ensure seamless service and maintain the refined ambiance that distinguishes them from ordinary gatherings. Professional service teams at elite venues receive extensive training in reading these nonverbal cues, understanding that their ability to anticipate guest needs reflects excellence. The second important aspect involves recognizing when your host signals the conclusion of formal dining experiences. Elite hosts employ the strategic placement of their own napkin as a discreet announcement that the meal has reached its natural end. When the host places their napkin beside their plate, sophisticated guests understand this as their cue to begin preparing for departure, regardless of ongoing conversations or remaining beverages. This time-honored tradition allows hosts to manage their schedule without appearing rude or making their guests feel rushed or unwelcome. Missing this signal often results in awkward situations where guests linger beyond the intended time frame, creating discomfort for hosts who are too well-bred to directly request departure. The most accomplished guests anticipate this moment and respond immediately, earning appreciation for their social awareness and consideration. This protocol becomes particularly important during intimate dinner parties, where hosts may have subsequent commitments or need time to restore their environment. Furthermore, understanding the physical cues that indicate the conclusion of entertainment requires sophisticated observation skills. When your host rises from their seated position during the evening's final stages, this movement represents a carefully orchestrated signal that the gathering is transitioning toward its end. Experienced guests recognize this subtle choreography and begin their own departure preparations, understanding that lingering after this cue would be considered poor form. The host's gentle stretching or casual movement to collect items serves as their diplomatic way of indicating that while the evening has been delightful, it's time for guests to take their leave. Those who possess genuine social refinement read these physical signals instinctively, demonstrating their familiarity with the unspoken rules that govern elite social interactions. The most successful social climbers learn to recognize and respond to these cues, earning invitations to future exclusive gatherings. This non-verbal communication system proves especially valuable during multi-course dinner parties where traditional ending signals might be ambiguous. The third element centers on the delicate etiquette surrounding shared food presentations at upscale dining experiences. When confronted with the final portion of any shared dish, sophisticated diners engage in a graceful ritual that demonstrates consideration and proper breeding. Rather than claiming the remaining morsel, well-bred individuals acknowledge its presence while declining to take it, creating an opportunity for others to demonstrate similar restraint. This dance of deference often results in the final portion remaining untouched, which both parties accept as the natural conclusion to their refined behavior. The underlying principle emphasizes that appearing greedy or overly eager for food reflects poorly on one's upbringing and social standing. Those who understand this protocol navigate these situations with grace, earning respect from their dining companions and reinforcing their reputation for proper etiquette. This behavior pattern extends beyond formal dining to casual gatherings, where the same principles apply to shared appetizers and desserts. Additionally, the sophisticated use of dining implements creates a silent language that communicates your intentions to professional service staff. When your utensils rest separately on your plate with casual positioning, this arrangement indicates your intention to continue dining and signals staff to avoid premature clearing. Conversely, when you position your fork and knife in parallel formation, pointing toward the same direction, you're indicating the completion of your course and authorization for staff to remove your plate. This internationally recognized system prevents the embarrassment of having your meal removed before completion, while ensuring efficient service in fine dining establishments. The most prestigious restaurants train their staff extensively in reading these signals, creating an atmosphere of seamless service that enhances the overall dining experience. Mastering this communication prevents uncomfortable interactions with service personnel and demonstrates your familiarity with proper dining protocol. Professional service teams at establishments frequented by diplomats and business leaders rely on these signals to provide exceptional service without interrupting conversations. The fourth crucial aspect involves understanding how truly wealthy individuals handle financial transactions in social settings. Rather than creating theatrical displays or drawing attention to their generosity, sophisticated individuals manage expenses with discreet efficiency that maintains everyone's comfort. The most refined approach involves settling accounts through subtle communication with service staff, ensuring that the transaction occurs without disrupting ongoing conversations. This technique requires advanced planning and social awareness, as the individual must catch the server's attention and complete the payment process without alerting other guests. The goal is creating a seamless experience where the financial aspect becomes invisible, allowing everyone to focus on the social interaction rather than monetary concerns. When executed properly, other guests only realize the bill has been handled when someone casually inquires about payment arrangements, at which point the sophisticated host simply confirms everything has been arranged. This approach to financial management reflects deeper values about hospitality, generosity, and the importance of maintaining comfortable social dynamics within affluent circles. These 10 principles represent the foundation of elite social navigation, separating those who truly belong in sophisticated circles from those who merely aspire to such status. Understanding and implementing these subtle signals demonstrates your familiarity with the unwritten rules that govern high society interactions. The ability to recognize and respond appropriately to these cues marks the difference between genuine refinement and superficial attempts at sophistication. Those who master these techniques find themselves welcomed into increasingly exclusive circles, where such knowledge is assumed rather than taught. The investment in learning these protocols pays dividends in social capital, opening doors to opportunities and relationships that remain closed to those who lack this understanding. Click subscribe now and activate notifications to ensure you never miss the insider secrets that separate society's elite from everyone else, because understanding these distinctions could transform your social standing forever. The mastery of these sophisticated communication methods requires practice, observation, and genuine appreciation for the cultural traditions that created them. Success in elite social circles depends not only on knowing these rules, but also on embodying the values that make such behavior feel natural. Wealthy families pass down these traditions through generations, creating an inherited understanding that distinguishes old money from nouveau riche. Those who invest time in learning these sophisticated behaviors often find that their social capital increases exponentially, opening doors to exclusive opportunities. Remember that authentic sophistication cannot be purchased or faked. It must be cultivated through genuine understanding and consistent practice of these traditions.